Coming right up in this week in Gunpla, we'll be taking a look at all the new kits from Bandai, the new Master Grade Wing Gundam Zero version car, the limited edition MGEX Unicorn Gundam Is That Worth the Money, and also a special gold edition Nissin Gunpla model kit as well. There's also some stories on a 7-Eleven in Japan selling Gunpla kits, and we'll be taking a look at all the upcoming Expo kits from the Japan and also the Thailand hobby show. There will be a very cool heartwarming story at the end of the video, but first, let's take a look at the latest update on Yokohama Gundam Japan. This is the 18-meter tall 1:1 scale moving Gundam at Yokohama Pier, Japan. It's also the place where Bandai is opening up a new factory, so it's also a home to the Gundam factory. This is the first time I'm seeing the actual movement of the 1:1 scale Gundam, and I have to say, I am thoroughly impressed at how smooth the movements are, and also how every single finger has independent movement as well. And obviously, if you're a Tokusatsu Kamen Rider fan like myself, when you see the RX-70-2 pointing one single finger to the sky, it reminded all of us of how that looks like the Tendo Soji from Kamen Rider Kabuto signature pose looks like. So yeah, very cool. I think maybe some of you would have gotten that. Now let's get back to the 1:1 scale 18-meter tall Gundam. What else can it do? Well, it actually has quite a wide range of poses and also movement. It can also do the somewhat like the Iron Man landing on Earth movement, so one knee on the Earth and the other one stretched out. So that's actually very cool. You're probably wondering, when is this going to open? Well, the entire exhibition of the 18-meter tall Gundam is going to be opening on 1st October 2020. So it was originally slated to be open in July, to be very frank, but given how everybody's locked up and no one's able to travel, so the whole thing was pushed 3 months later onto October 1st until October 3rd, 2021. So the entire exhibition will only be around for 1 year. So if you get to travel to Japan, I would highly recommend going to see this entire exhibition before they tear this thing down by 2021 October the 3rd. What else can you do in Yokohama, Japan? Well, apparently the entire experience is not just limited to this 1:1 scale statue, but there will also be a Gunpla factory tour. If you want to, you'll be shown at how Gunpla kits are manufactured and made, and also there will be a Gundam cafe. There will also be a Gundam base Japan, and I think the main attraction of this entire structure is there will be a observatory deck as well, so you can actually go up and look at it eye to eye level and see how the entire thing is being manipulated. From the videos and pictures itself, it does seem like they require a lot of engineers on site just to manage the movement of the entire 18-meter tall Gundam. So I'm actually kind of wondering, when will we get to a day where we can actually pilot a life-size Gundam using just one single human being instead of so many engineers on site to control all the different movements. So that would be something that we'll be looking forward to. So there you have it, folks. If you're a mecha or a Gundam fan, this will be the new holy grail and must visit place. You won't be just going to Japan nowadays to visit Akihabara to buy your collectibles, but Yokohama now stands to be the next place to be. Now, of course, some of you will probably be wondering, hey, should I actually buy the Gundam Move Yokohama kits? To be very frank, from the reviews I've seen so far, most of the people who have bought the kit, because the kit itself is not graded as master grade or high grade or real grade, when I actually saw the actual kit itself, it does seem that the kit is very basic. Most of the runners are actually going into building the entire stage to house the Gundam Move itself. So you're really paying more for the entire diorama that houses the Gunpla kit itself, and not a very advanced or the brand new building experience of a high grade kit that we all have come to expect from Bandai. So if you're going to buy the Gundam Yokohama model kit, don't get your hopes so high. It is just meant to be a tourist souvenir of sorts, so just beware of that. New Gunpla Kits coming out very soon, and the first one we want to take a look at is the Wing Gundam Zero Endless Wars version car. I think a lot of fans were upset when this was first announced because, we were expecting a brand new mobile suit to be made into a master grade, but instead they given a 2.0 to the Wing Gundam Zero instead. But having to see the new production pictures of the upcoming kit, I think a lot of fans now can be a little bit happier, I suppose, because there are quite a lot of new changes to the kit itself. I think the overall look, let's just talk about the overall look first. I think it definitely looks a lot more detailed and also a lot better thanks to the color separation and also the highly detailed legs and also the joints that we have seen in the new Wing Gundam Zero Endless Wars. The other new cool gimmick that's coming out is the wings, right? Now these wings can actually house the twin buster rifle, where previously there was really no place to actually put the twin buster rifle. So at least right now you can actually keep the twin buster rifle inside the wings itself, and I think this has been a popular mod with most Japanese builders anyways already. The other new change, if you look closely into the shield itself, the shield has been radically redesigned somewhat compared to the previous version. So in terms of the details, the look, and even the color itself, it has been changed totally compared to the previous version. Obviously, I think in the articulation there has been some improvements in the form of how far this guy can actually now bend the knee and also kneel. So there's actually quite a very cool moving parts and pieces throughout the legs and the knee itself when it actually does bend. So with version cars, they always give a lot of decals and the marking, so you shouldn't expect anything less with this kit as well. So I think I would definitely be getting this kit when it comes out in Japan sometime in November 2020, but I think it will probably reach the rest of the world sometime for Christmas. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be getting this before Christmas and not in 2021. Now speaking about 2021, this new kit that's coming out is the real great Zeong, and I think no one saw this coming, especially not me, knowing that Bandai has not really released a lot of non-popular main character mobile suit, or even let's say just mono eyes, right? We're not be getting a lot of non-Gundam mobile suits, especially for the real grade series. So I'm just glad that Bandai is finally trying something new, and for most Gunpla fans, especially real grade fans, you will probably be getting a very exciting brand new build experience. No one has built a Zeong under the real grade line before, so it'll be interesting to see how the entire build experience will be like. Now there will be two separate versions of the real grade Zeong, right? One is without the stand and the effect parts, and the other one, which is a little bit more pricier, will include all the stage, the effect parts. That will be a little bit more pricey, and both of them will be coming out in January 2021. Now, before I talk about the premium Bandai Unicorn version car Master Grade Extreme, let's take a look at the Nissin Cup Noodle Pla model kit. And I think a lot of people like me are now still, lamenting whether should we buy this kit. But having seen the actual build process and the number of parts that actually goes into the cup noodle itself, it actually seems to be a very interesting and highly detailed build. The entire cup noodle word font on the model kit itself is each singular part by itself, so you're actually getting very good part separation here. But obviously for those of you who are saying that, hey, one piece of this cup noodle model kit actually costs more than the actual cup noodle itself, so should I be buying this? Well, I guess if you want something iconic and something somewhat like a conversation starter, it's definitely an interesting model kit to have. I'm actually considering buying this when it actually comes out just in Malaysia. The part separation for this kit is actually quite insane. I wasn't expecting such a great part separation and detail for the Nissin Cup Noodle model kit. The interesting thing is, the lid that closes the top part of the cup noodle, that seems to be the actual production piece that comes with the original Nissin Cup Noodle product itself. So you are getting something quite unique here, so you can actually reuse it multiple times. But to be very frank, I think the one that I really want to get, but unfortunately it's not available outside of Japan, Bandai and Nissin Cup Noodle is actually doing a joint giveaway where they are throwing out 50 units of gold edition for the cup noodle model kit. So everything is in gold, two-tone different colors, and to be very frank, the gold finishing on that special edition looks amazing. But you have to be in a lucky draw in Japan in order to actually win that gold version of the cup noodle. So that is unfortunate. So with only 50 available worldwide, in Japan, chances of that thing becoming a very expensive sought after in the eBay and Yahoo auction market is going to be insane. So good luck to you guys who are searching for that gold edition Nissin cup noodle. Now let's get to the final new kit that's coming out this week, and it's not really new, but this is basically the same model kit that has been released in Japan last week, and that is the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam. What is different? Well, this is a premium Bandai edition of the Unicorn Gundam Master Grade Extreme, but it comes in a separate different box design, which is a visual form of the Unicorn Gundam, not in destroy mode, but it's just Unicorn mode. And that is the puzzling part, right? Because I don't think a lot of Gunpla fans or even the Unicorn Gundam fans actually like the Unicorn look. So I'm not too sure who is willing to pay the additional 5,000 to 6,000 yen just to get this special box art edition of the Unicorn Gundam on their Master Grade Extreme. Having said that, the MGEX Unicorn Gundam has been selling really well in Japan, and in some places like Hong Kong and Taiwan, from what I've seen, a lot of places did not order enough because they thought that, you know, the response would not be as good because of the price. But surprisingly, it has all sold out in most hobby stores across the world. And Japan, I think they are now probably going through the second run of the printing. So yeah, I think it really remains to be seen of how many people will actually want to buy a Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam with a special box art for an additional 5,000 to 6,000 yen, and that will be a premium limited edition kit from Premium Bandai. This may be the coolest 7-Eleven store in the world. For the first time ever, there is a 7-Eleven store that actually has an entire section catering for Gunpla and also plant model builders like us. You can actually find model kits on sale, modeling tools, nippers, cutters, paint brushes, paints, and everything else in this one very cool, very small 7-Eleven store. So I was actually quite surprised at how much different tools that you can actually buy from this one little 7-Eleven store in Japan. To be very frank, I think most of us would be just happy to see some Gunpla kits on sale in a local 7-Eleven, but this shop pretty much say let's give everything from what we can as a service to the local customers here. So I don't think they are just specifically targeting plumber builders, but they do know that probably a lot of Japanese customers are also into this hobby. So look at the amount of tools they actually have in Japan. And in addition to that, there are also some very cool build kits on display, such as this Master Grade Gundam New version car, and also some Triple Dome, some SD kits as well on display. So if you guys are ever in Japan and you say that, hey, are all 7-Eleven stores in Japan starting to carry Gunpla model kits from Bandai? Well, the answer is no. I think it is actually quite rare even in Japan itself, and that is why this entire video and footage from Mr. Suzuki-san on Twitter is such a surprise. I think there has been very positive response from all the Japanese Gunpla builders in Japan themselves, because they also lament that, for Gunpla builders, you have to probably work or go to school from 9 to 5, 9 to 6, and by the time you go back, most of the Gunpla stores are probably already closed or out of reach. And weekend is probably not the best time for you to go to your local hobby stores, because you need to spend time with your family, meet up with friends, or catch up with work. So if you guys are keen to find out more about this local store, I'll put the pin on the actual location of the 7-Eleven store in the description itself, so you guys can go and check it out and see if this is actually worth a visit. With the absence of GBWC this year, some countries are actually holding their own smaller scale Gunpla Expo, and there's one actually happening next week in Siam Paragon, Thailand, Bangkok. So if you're actually stuck in Bangkok, I think this is a perfect time to actually go and check out all the limited edition kit that was supposed to come out for GBWC Thailand. So there is actually a staggering number of 20 plus limited edition kit that's going to be available at the event itself. Unfortunately, I'm not able to go to Thailand, but otherwise, I think there are actually quite a number of kits I actually want to buy for this list. Surprisingly, if I look at the limited edition kit this year that was meant for GBWC anyways, there does seem to be a high number of clear color kits versus the past few previous years where you actually get a lot more titanium finish or special finish kits. This year, there seems to be a higher concentration on mechanical clear, clear color, and also the new dimension clear for the Build Diverse Rise series. But for me, I think the real grid Gundam mechanical clear version seems very interesting, but that kit is kind of horrible. I think the one that most of you will probably be aiming for is actually the real grade new Gundam clear color and also the high grade Moon Gundam clear color as well. If I'm not mistaken, the new Gundam clear color version was a Gundam based Tokyo exclusive early this year. Well, at least finally we are able to buy it in this part of the world. There is also a very cool NT1 version 2.0 clear color as well, and I think that one is actually kind of worth the money because finally you get to expose the inner frame itself. There are also a lot of different clear colors and also some rehash from the previous years. If you see that, there's the Master Grade Torgis Endless War special coating. This has been in the Expo circuit for the last 2 years, but I think not a lot of people actually buy it because of the price. But to be very frank, I think if you can buy that, you should definitely go for it because the titanium edition finish on the kit looks spectacular. There are a lot of clear color kits, so depending on your preference between clear color versus mechanical clear and versus gloss injection. So gloss injection is by far the one finishing that I really don't like, so I will probably be missing out on that. There is also a Super Femina, they call it the Axis Image color version. Seems very interesting in the bright orange and yellow finishing and orange finishing as well. So that's something that Build Diverse fans will probably want to get. Running off for the last 5 kits for this expo, there's also some rehash again from the last few years, and that is the high grade Zeta Gundam clear color and also the Master Grade Gundam Astra Gold frame again. It's coming back. Seems like these 2 kits has been in the circuit for the Expo edition for a while now, but nobody's really buying those. Well, the Reborn 1100 Ifrit Custom Clear Color seems to be an interesting one to actually buy. You don't really see a lot of Reborn series as Expo kit lately, so hopefully there will be more coming out this year, and hopefully there will be a special Gunpla Expo in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia as well. Japan will still have their yearly Gunpla Expo at Shinjuku as expected, but this year there will be an additional G conference, so maybe they'll be wondering, rolling in 3, 2, 1. Japan will still have their yearly Gunpla Expo, but this time of course without GBWC. And interestingly, this time there will be a special G conference, so I assume they'll be announcing something cool like the Unicorn Bus and also the new Perfect Grade that is coming out. It's quite a lot of cool stuff that I want to show you on this event, but I think first and foremost, the most important thing is the admission special benefit. So if you go to all different days, it's a 4-day conference. If you go into day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, as you can see here, you will be able to win or actually get the special Gundam entry grade clear color. Day 2 is clear white, day 3 is clear red, which to be frank, the red and the blue looks amazing, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be quite challenging for everybody to line up 4 days just to get all these 4 different kits in the 4 different colors. So hopefully this will be available in the Gunpla Expo in Asia in the subsequent years. Okay, and if you actually collect all 4, you can actually build a special clear color entry grid as well. As you can see here, it looks really cool. The yearly Gunpla Expo is also very famous for its limited edition item on sale. So you will actually get to buy the industrial color version G40, which, to be very frank, for those of you who didn't like the look of the G40 industrial design, I think the clear color definitely looks a lot better. There is also a special event limited version of the high-grade RX-70-2, as you can see here, 3 different versions, so it comes in a pack. And there is a pre-sale of the real grade Strike Freedom Gundam Titanium finish, which we covered in our previous video as well. And also a pre-sale on the limited edition Last Shooting Zeong effect set at 9,900 yen, very pricey. There will also be a pre-sale on the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam with a special box art, which I think it is not that great, to be frank. It's not really worth the money, right? Also special pre-sale item on Premium Bundle at the event itself. So if you're a tourist, you are able to buy the Premium Bundle kits at the event itself. And I do think that the real grade titanium finish crossbone looks really cool. I actually want this myself. And there is also some clear color version of the real grade new Gundam. So this one looks like the one that we showed earlier for the Gundam Expo in Thailand. And of course a new clear color Sandrock. SDCS clear color kits, to be very frank, are quite awesome. As you can see, we actually did a build of the SDCS Zeta a couple of months ago. This is a kit that I actually really want as well. And also a very special G3 color combination for the Beyond Global. So these are all the exclusive limited edition items that will be available at the Gunpla Expo coming in November at the usual Shinjuku venue. So if you guys are actually in Japan, and if you can help me buy some kits, hey, can you please help me get the SDCS Crossbone Gundam? Alright, so don't forget, there will be some cool expo happening in Thailand and also Tokyo. So do check them out if you want to buy the special limited edition kits. Our final story this week is actually a very nice heartwarming tale of a son actually buying a Gunpla kit for his dad. So this is a story of a family that migrated to Canada, and he seemed that his dad used to be a very big Gunpla fan, but has been quite stressed out with a new environment, work, and also school. So he decided to, hey, why don't I buy my dad a Gunpla kit just to cheer him up? Obviously when they migrated to Canada, his dad was not able to bring his Gunpla collection across. So it's actually a very nice heartwarming story, and I do kind of wish that we have actually a lot more stories like this. These are basically random act of kindness stories, right? So in this crazy time where everybody is stressed out because of work, because of the social distancing rules, you gotta wear a mask everywhere you go, and you got to be a little bit more penny pinching on your wallet as well, given the economic hardship that some of us are facing. It is nice to see some fellow human being be nice to one another, especially for one another in the Gunpla community. So thank you for sticking with us for this very long episode. I think our videos on the This Week in Gunpla is going to become longer and longer as we cover a lot more stories, not just on Gundam and Gunpla, but also some other news on collectibles and also Plum Model stories. If you guys like this new format, please let me know. We will be making a lot more videos like this. But if you think that you prefer some short snippets of videos and news like this, we will be splitting them up and uploading them separately on our YouTube channel. So if you're new to our channel, please consider subscribing for all the latest news and updates on Gunpla, Gundam, and also Plamo news in general in the community. So my final word to you guys is, please stay safe and be kind to one another, and I'll see you guys in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching.